What's going on, guys? This is Misfit, and welcome back to OverTakes. And today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm going to explain where I've been for the last couple of months, what's been going on. A lot of you probably know. And we're going to talk about the season format and all that kind of stuff in this one. And we're going to talk about where we're going forward from here and how we're going to do the 2022 season of the Overwatch League on OverTakes, what I'm planning on doing, and all that kind of thing, and where I've been and what's been going on in my world, whether it relates to this or not. But I had to do some things. So anyway, we're going to get to that in 2 seconds. First, I want to thank everybody for all of your support. It's been fantastic. I love all of you guys. Thank all of you for tuning in, joining me, subscribing, all that stuff. If you're new, this is your first time coming in, thanks a lot. Please hit a like, hit a subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. That would be fantastic. I do Overwatch League content during the season, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what's going on. In the off season, it depends. This off season has been long, so we'll be explaining on what's been going on here in a while, or in a minute. I've been gone for a while, but I like to do it a couple times a week. We go from there. Thank you a lot, everybody. So let's get into this. All right. Let's start with the first part. So, the last episode on the show was in early November, after pretty much we calmed down with the signings and all that stuff. Yes, we've had a few since then. New York has signed a roster, the Valiant has signed a roster. We'll talk about those in the coming episodes, but this is a little bit different of an episode. I wanted to explain where I've been, what's going on, and what's happening. So, from probably I would say the play-ins through the playoffs and stuff like that, I started to feel a little burnout. Now, if you guys don't know, I've been doing this show since the inception of the Overwatch League. I had a partner up until mid-2020 where his life, he had things going on where he could not do this, and I wanted to continue because I love the league. I love talking to you guys, and I was going to talk about this league anyway because I'm so invested and I love it. But I've been doing it since, in fact, we just passed a milestone of 5 years. About, I think 4 weeks ago. We started the week before the Overwatch League started in 2018. So, I hadn't taken an extended break in a long time. I had just gone on vacation. I was relaxed a little bit, but I was getting burnt out. That, coupled with the scenario at Blizzard, prompted me to step back and step down, because I could not take, and I still really am not behind what's going on, the Bobby Kotick situation, and a lot of the situations going on at Activision Blizzard currently with their board of directors and everything. The reason why I have decided to come back into this is it's not the game developers' fault, and the people that work at Blizzard and the Overwatch League, I want to support them. I don't want to support Bobby Kotick. I do not want to support Blizzard hierarchy on the whole. But I love this game. I love the league. And the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, and the reports that Bobby Kotick is going to be gone, prompted me to come back to this sooner than I probably would have otherwise, if I would have at all. I was really burnt out, guys. I've been doing this like 2-3 times a week. And early on, 4 and 5 times a week with streaming and a lot of other stuff. I needed a break, a long break. I needed to figure out what I was doing. I also ramped up my other channel where I play Ark Survival Evolved. I love that game. I love sharing it with people. Yeah, it's new, and it's old. Well, the game's not new, but my channel's new. I'm having fun with it. I don't have a ton of subscribers. If you care to subscribe, come on over, check it out. I have fun, and join in the fun. There'll be a link down below. But the shameless plug for my other channel. But it's fun. I like doing that. I wanted to pursue that more. I wanted to learn how to do gaming editing and progress in that. So I started doing that a little bit more. But the one thing I always wanted to do and I always love is coming back to the Overwatch League. I couldn't for a little bit. I had to separate from it happens, guys. You burn out. And I was feeling that. But right now, I'm energized and I'm ready to go.
there's so much going on with things in the league, with the format and all that, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. I just wanted to give you guys my personal feelings of what was explain to you what was going on the channel and everything. I'm back. We're going to try and figure out some new stuff going on because we're going to talk about this with the format. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of new stuff. We got the whole specter of Overwatch 2. We don't know what's going to happen with that yet. I wanted to let that flesh out a little bit too. I thought we would get a little bit more news. Maybe I'd jump in and say something about that. But we haven't gotten anything yet. And then you hear content creators got stuff, and I could care less. They deserve to get it, whatever. That's not even this podcast show, YouTube channel isn't necessarily about Overwatch itself. I might dive more into it when Overwatch 2 comes around and we start talking about stuff.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get more stuff on that so we could talk about that, but of course we haven't. But anyway, guys, let's dive into things. And one thing I wanted to talk about first, one of the big things was John Spector stepping down when I was away, and I think that's huge. But I do think Sean Miller is going to do a good job. He seems like he's kind of like Spector in a way. It's like they got Spector's cousin. I don't know. He kind of sounds like him, kind of looks like him a little bit. But yeah, I think this could work out. I think John Spector did a lot. I think he's going to do a lot for Overwatch too. He's a creative mind. He's a great mind, and they're doing a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about what happened this week. It's not that nothing happened in the time that I was off. We will hit on some of that stuff here and there. I mean, honestly, there wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of news, a lot of stuff going on, here and there. We had a couple of things, but from here forward, this is, we're in 2022, the Overwatch League season. Let's talk about, so we had, I believe it was Monday it was Tuesday, the usual day when they do stuff in Overwatch World, Blizzard, or whatever you want to call it. Not Blizzard World, the map, but their updates usually come on Tuesdays and stuff like that. When they do their developer updates, and we had a update on Overwatch League. So we had, they had Zoe and Mr. X and stuff talking about things, and they had some goofy shit going on here. Custa doing his best. I want to be XQC and Dr. Disrespect's baby kind of thing. I don't know what he was doing there. It was kind of weird. Playing streamer guy or whatever with the hoodie on and all that. Anyway, but that being said, let's talk about the format. Now, if you guys remember at the end of last year, one of the things I was saying when we were going over what we liked and what we didn't, I didn't think there was enough games. I didn't think 4 matches per stage proved enough, especially the way they had the schedule worked out. I just thought that 16 games, while it works in a sport like football or a sport like European football, soccer, less games, I don't like that in Overwatch League. Yes, the games are more important, but if you're separating into stages and you're qualifying to get into small tournaments to eventually get to the big tournament, I don't think it worked out, especially when you had uneven amount of games versus teams and stuff like that. It didn't provide a proper competitive balance to me. It was a little off. But 24 games, I think that was somewhere where I said is the sweet spot for this. Between 20 and 24. I wanted 5 to 6 weeks. The teams that were off the first week kind of had an advantage, especially when, you're talking metas and you're talking, between balance patches and stuff like that, where they would come in, be off, lose, be off for 2 weeks, and then, or what was it, like, I think you got an off week, then you play 2 more weeks. Yeah, if you got losses in that first week, you're kind of screwed. This gives you a little bit more leeway. And the most important thing as we talk about the schedule is we are going to get balance. You're going to play every team twice in the western half of the Overwatch League. And then in the eastern half, they're going to play, or APAC, whatever you want to call the breakup. In the east, they're going to play each other in a round-robin format every tournament cycle. So with 6 games, they're each playing each other at least once. And then that works out for competitive balance. Because if you guys remember, there were times where, and it happened with a couple of teams, and you look at their records, and Paris is a pretty solid example of this, where they played a bunch of crap teams, and you're like, wow, they look really good. And then they got to play good teams. I believe I think they had 8 wins, and half of their wins were over the bottom of the league, being Vancouver and London. So, this is going to be a better litmus test. Yeah, there are going to be some balance issues per tournament cycle, but at the end of the day, it plays itself out where everybody plays each other once or twice in the West, and everybody plays each other every tournament cycle on the East side of the docket. So I like that a lot. That's why the 24 games, I think 40 was too much. I like the 2020 schedule. I thought that was good, but it proved to be a little bit too much as well. I forget. Honestly, I forget so much about the 2020 season other than the playoffs because it was so chaotic with COVID and all that and all the canceled games. I forgot how many games every team played. Some teams didn't even play their whole schedule, from what I remember. But this is going to provide a lot of good stuff. And then the tournaments are going to be different as well. So tournament-wise, there are 4 tournaments this year, as in past years. Obviously, we're not going to have the May Melee because we're starting in May, and by the time the stage gets done with, we're already into June. So we're going to have, like I said, 4 tournaments. The first and third tournaments are going to be regional. In other words, we're not going to the Hawaii format, which was good, but some of the teams are complaining about it, and some teams, they didn't like to travel. The Korean teams didn't get to travel all the time and all that. So first and third tournaments are going to be separated by region. They haven't really given specifics on how they're going to be worked out. They could end up being live venues, live events. I know they did say something about the East not getting any live events, which I find odd, which you think they would have something going on with that. Oh, by the way, I'd like to apologize in advance. This sounds a little weird. I had just redone my room. I don't have any of my soundproofing stuff up yet. So the little pingy, little weird noisy going on in here. Just wanted to let you know the sound quality will get better. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about. And as with everything in this COVID life that have been living for the last 2 years, we're going to have the mid-season madness, and obviously the finals will be global tournaments featuring all 12 teams, or featuring 12 teams, 4 from the East, 8 from the West, double elimination tournament over 6 days. The mid-season and postseason tournaments will feature, big prize pools over $1 million potentially. And then the final tournament of the year, which is going to be the Countdown Cup, will be the play-in tournament for the postseason, which is fantastic. Details for all this stuff they're going to share at a later date. Obviously, it's fantastic. And one of the things that we did get is opening weekend. We have a confirmed date. There's been a lot of speculation. I know Dallas, someone from the Dallas Fuel Org, it might have been Hastro, said something about April 19th or something like that. Who knows? That could be a preseason tournament, guys. Some kind of, live event. We're doing a Overwatch League preseason 5v5 thing. He might not be wrong about that. It just might not be regular season. Like just an exhibition type of scenario. They've done them in the past. I know in Asia they did them a couple times last year and years before. But we have games starting, and we're going back to the 4-day-a-week format. So that makes it a little rougher for me. I'm not going to lie. I gotta churn that content out the front half of the week to get you guys with my thoughts and all that, and talk about matches that are coming up and the matches that happened and all that. But we're going to take care of that, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it good. We might even split it. Give me your guys' thoughts on this. I can even split it up as far as previews for, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pre-weekend and then weekend matches. Give me your thoughts on that. I really want to know. But yeah, we have a banger of a weekend coming up starting. They could have had some better matches possibly, but you don't know who's good yet. And that's the thing about this, is we're going with the mentality of last year. All right, you see Gladiators, New York. Well, New York revamped their roster, so they're going to be decent. And the Gladiators were great last year, so you're going, well, who knows what this is going to be. And you got Paris and Shock. Who knows about that one. Atlanta and Florida, that's probably not going to be the greatest. I'm not going to lie. It's a mayhem fan. But, like I said, you don't know what the 5v5 thing. And then, we have 3 matches Thursday, 4 matches Friday, 4 matches Saturday, and 5 matches on Sunday. That's inclusive. I'm sorry, more than that if you count APAC matches. So Friday you get 2 APAC, Saturday you get 3, Sunday you get 2. So it's gonna be an action-packed weekends every week. We got 6 weeks of stage. I like it a lot. I really do. It's something I'm glad that I don't know, not me specifically. They listen to people, whether it's Plat Chat, somewhat they speak about that stuff, or various other podcasts and shows about the Overwatch League, content creators saying, it felt a little short on matches. I mean, probably teams said that too, especially ones that got, in their mind, got screwed by 4 games or, however it worked. But yeah, schedule looks great. I like what's going on. And I think we're going to have a fantastic season, guys. I think this is going to be an amazing season of the Overwatch League. One of the things I want to talk about quick, I'm trying to keep these in the 20-minute, 30-minute range when we're talking about things like this, just so it doesn't get too out of control. Sometimes when you guys that are around, I can talk. I will talk for 45 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes on a match between the Shock and Chengdu for no reason. I have the ability to do that, but I want to keep these like in a reasonable amount of time when we're doing stuff, talking about the non-nuts and bolts of the league. When we're talking about the format, that kind of thing, rosters, I want to keep it kind of quick. But let's talk about where we're going to go. So, obviously, the hardest thing to do for this is going to be doing power rankings and the things that you guys like and we like to talk about and debate about and get into discussions about with the Overwatch League in the preseason, before stages, all of that stuff. This one's going to be tough, guys. We have no idea. These guys don't even have the game yet, as far as we know. We're going to try to evaluate some stuff. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do something. Whether it's power rankings, whether it's some sort of tiering, we're going to try and figure this out where we can go into the season and go, we think these guys, outside of a couple of teams who you kind of just have the vibe are going to be good anyway, being, your Shanghai's, your Dallas's, those teams like that, Shock, possibly, maybe. Seems like they're rebuilding, but that's a whole nother discussion. But you see where I'm going. So we're going to try and figure that out. I want to really ramp it up. Obviously, if we get news, I'm doing this podcast right now, and you guys know how the preseason is. Someone starts talking like me, I start editing, and then tomorrow they're going to drop, hey, here's the dealio with fucking Overwatch 2. And then they're going to shit all over this, and I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden everything's going on, that kind of thing. Barring that, I'm going to do an episode every couple of weeks. We're going to talk about stuff. We might even dive into some ratings of Overwatch 1 players. I would love to get some guys together. If I was going to do this, I was working on it, but I was just so burnt out that I could not handle trying to get 6-8 guys in a forum session together to do something about, because I want to do like the ultimate starting 6 of Overwatch 1. I know like Plat Chat and a couple other places have been doing like their, top 5 or was it top 10 of each position in Overwatch 1. I want to do the ultimate starting 6. So if any of you guys are out there that want to do something like that with me, well, let me know. Hit me in the DMs on Twitter. You know where I'm at. I don't shut up, so we obviously... It's a long football season, guys. You guys know I'm in the NFL, Broncos fan. It's a long season. I was a little cranky. Anyway, but and also if you guys want to join me on social media, I just yammer about sports and Overwatch and video games and whatever else. If you want to join in those conversations, please feel free to join me on there. But yeah, I want to get something together like that. Even if I just come up with something myself, maybe we do it on a stream and we start talking about this because I think it's fantastic. Obviously, there's one player that you guys know who I think is and I'm going to say this now, I'm going to get it out of the way. Prophet's the GOAT. Okay? I don't care what you guys say. Prophet is the GOAT of Overwatch 1
in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, you guys can throw Lip, you can throw Fleta. I don't give a flying fuck who you throw out there. You can put it, and all of you Shock fans are gonna get all fucking pissed because I said that because I didn't put Violet on there or say Super some kind of god or whatever. Anyway, that's my one hot take for the show. Prophet's the GOAT of Overwatch 1. We're gonna hit Overwatch 2 and see if he keeps going that way. Real quick though, on some of the GOATs of Overwatch 1, I was really kind of bummed to see that Jjonak is retiring because of an injury. I really wanted to see what he could do with Seoul. I feel like the last year was wasted with NYXL. Was he the greatest? No. At that point, was he bad? Not in any stretch. I think I said it numerous times. I thought he did decently enough. It's just there are so many really good flex supports compared to when he came into the league. I think he's easily in the top 6 or 7 in the league, and that was in a year where he was kind of quote-unquote off his game. It's really sad to see. I don't know what Seoul is going to do. I know they still have Creative, who I have my ups and downs with as far as his gameplay, but I think he's solid enough. I think in this iteration, though, it seems as though everyone wants double flex support, which I can't blame them, because if there is fast, wide open play, you're not going to need. Well, you could possibly need your Mercy, Lucio, etc. Your main quote unquote main support role. But I think it's going to be more important and more valuable right now to make sure you have 2 decent enough, maybe even 1 god tier, 1 really high level guy, and someone who's good enough to play. Maybe your 1 god tier guy has his hero pool is wide enough that can play like all the heroes, and then you have someone who's maybe a niche guy that fits in. Maybe he's a good BAP, and your other guy can take care of the Zen, Ana, Moira, etc. Whatever they need to do. Or you might train some of them like we talked about a while back. Some of these guys are learning, like Violet, he's learned Lucio and Mercy, so you might be using some of those guys to just be a hyperflex support and not necessarily a one trick, but someone who's got the Ana Zen or the BAP Zen or the BAP Ana. You know where I'm going here. But you want another guy that can play all the other stuff at a reasonably high level or a super high level. So yeah, well, we'll see what goes on with that. But I am going to miss Jjonak in this league. He was amazing. I hope he gets better and comes back. I don't think he left like I'm definitely done forever. I hope he comes back like next year. And, if he gets his health issues worked out, I really want to wish him the best. And he gets healthy. I don't like seeing anyone get injured like that or hurt or, have to go through that. I want to see them healthy and, playing at their best and doing their best in whatever they do. I would love to see him come back in the league at some point. I think it would be fantastic. As far as his gameplay goes, he revolutionized the way Zenyatta was played. He was the original frag master on Zenyatta. Especially if you go back to that 2018 season when it started, you had Moth meta going on with Mercy and the Reses and the Valks and all that stuff. And basically it was Zen Mercy, and he was the best Zen anyone had ever saw up to that point. Anyway, we'll go with that. Words hard. But I think, guys, that is going to do it for this We're Back type episode of Overtakes. I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining me. Your support, honestly, since I've been gone, and even before then, watching videos and likes and subscribes and all that stuff, I really, really appreciate it. You don't understand. It means the world to me, especially when you guys start talking with me and we have discussions going, whether we're agreeing, disagreeing, having fun with it. That's what I live for. That's why Overtakes is here, to start the conversations rolling about the Overwatch League and make it fun. Because that's what it's all about in the end, is having fun with this league and enjoying it. And you guys are a huge part of that on this channel. And I love you guys for it. Thank you very much for everything. And if you guys are new, thanks a lot for stopping by. If you could do the YouTube things, like, subscribes, etc., what have you, all that, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot, in all of the YouTube algorithms and all that. Get Overtakes out there, get people in, start talking more about Overwatch League. It'll be fantastic. That's going to do it, guys. This is Misfit. I'm out. Everybody stay safe. Have a good rest of your day. And I we'll talk to you on the next one.